Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is really exciting. It's everything I've ever colored with a 2019 update. I colored way more in 2019 than I did in 2018. So that is really fun to see. I think I color coded most everything so I knew when I colored it. I'm going to start with my hardbound books. But before I go any further, I do have a surprise announcement, and that is one of the reasons why my production for coloring has decreased, and that is because we found out that we were expecting. So the first picture I will show you is kind of a gender reveal for our soon to come baby, which will be in May, and that is this page right here. So obviously this is all blues, which means we're having a boy. Yay! Anyways, to move on to the actual video content, this is Daydreams by Hannah Carlzon. This page was really fun in particular because I wanted to do kind of a monochromatic with pencils, so I chose all of my blue Prismas, and it was really fun to try to figure out the different saturation and hues to create the depth and contrast that I wanted. And this is what I did last year, and I was going to do her skin blue, but then decided that would just be too much, so I thought it would create a more stunning contrast to do a skin tone with kind of purple undertones, so that's what that is. I'm going to turn to the beginning now. This was also one that I did last year. This was, I think, the second picture that I colored in this book, and I still need to put my name on it. I was thinking about that yesterday, and I realized I never put my name on the nameplate, so maybe I'll do that. I'll practice how I want to write it, and then I'll write it on there. And this is one of the first pictures that I did with polychromos, so that's also kind of a monumental page right here. This is when I realized that they were amazing, and I couldn't believe that I'd never heard of them before coloring. Okay, so there's the blue one, and then this is another early picture from 2019, also with polychromos, and this was so much fun to do. I think this was like the second picture that I did, and I was in heaven. Everything just went down so smoothly, and this is one of my favorite backgrounds still, just because the gradient turned out, like the transition is very nice, and yeah, so I love that picture. And then we have another one. This is also 2019. Not 2000. I've been saying 2019, haven't I? This is 2018. So all of the ones that I just showed you are from 18. I keep forgetting we're in 2020 now, so I'm okay, so this is the very first picture that I colored in this book, and I used budget pencils, and it's also one of my favorites. Most of these pictures are, if I'm completely honest with myself. But I used my budget pencils. They're Art Advantage. They're like $30 for 100. So better than Crayola, but not as good as Prismacolors. And this bouquet kind of reminded me of wildflowers, and so I wanted to add this kind of vignette to add kind of a vintage feel. I love how that turned out so much. And then here we have one from 2019. So I did this one more recently. One of the things that I want to do in this book is have a page dedicated to a bunch of different colors. So there was the blue page. This one obviously was the red page, so I used pinks because that's a tint of red. and then some reds and some red oranges. So this one was really fun, and I got stuck in the background. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to paint it because it was pretty fiddly, so I just went in with a cheap black colored pencil and colored it in, and I think it helped everything pop. So that was fun. These two are also from 2018. Oh, I forgot to mention, so the red one, the red page, I think was a combination of Prismacolors and Polychromos. Because 2019 was the year of me realizing I needed to start combining pencils together. Anyways, so this is 2018. I did this. Did I do this one first? I did one of these pages and then I felt like they fit together. So I pulled a lot of the same colors from the color scheme. I think I did this one first. And then it just like, I don't know, just is so pretty and very soft, I feel like. Okay, I think, let me make sure there's, alright, so this one was another 2018. I used watercolor for the background, because I wanted a water effect since it was a seashell page, and this one I obviously is a monochromatic color scheme, and I used my Prismacolors, which go out down differently on this paper. This paper is different from all of my other Hannah Carlzon books, so I actually love Polychromos on this paper more than I do Prismas. This is one that I did on camera. I did washi tape for this fish because it was a do your own design, and then I pulled from some of the same colors from here and did this mandala fish, and wanted to keep with like the copper, so I did some coppery, and then I painted the background with this awesome copper paint. It's pretty awesome. And then added some bubbles. So that was also, that's a 2019, so that's a newer one. This one is also from 18. And originally I had no idea what to do with this page. And so but I wanted to color it. So I just put the rainbow gradient on the background, and then thought it would be fun to do kind of is it the Dutch crockery? That's the white and the red, and that like kind of china colors. So I really like that one. And I think we have one or two more. Yes, so this one is really simple, also from 18, and it's Polychromos. I just wanted to keep a really muted color palette, so I think I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors or something, just to get shading in. And here is a whip. I can't remember what year I started this, but I am excited to finish it one day. Someday it will happen. And that is all of that in Daydreams. There's a lot in Daydreams, wow. Okay, and Jewelry Box, I have a couple from this year. See, we have this one, which I did, or not this year, 2019, so last year. This was done, I think, more towards the beginning of the year, and I wanted to do, this was also a limited color palette, so I think I chose 5 colors, and I used those different colors differently to blend everything, so that was really fun. And then I did this glitter background, because I wanted to keep with the color scheme, but also wanted to add some pizzazz. So there's that. And the second one I did in here was more towards the last half of the year, and it just reminded me of something from, you know, Jane Austen's era. So I kept the color palette very light with these rich jewel tones, and I did a watercolor background with regular watercolors, and the hair I used my Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils, and then the polychromos for her skin, because I that was one thing I wanted to focus on in 2019, was coloring more people so that I could get more confident with my skin tones. Okay, we have a couple in Magical Dawn. This one is a whip. I still needed to finish it. I wanted to do a collage, but I didn't want all the bumpiness of the paper, so I made the collage and then I printed it out after scanning it, and my printer was a little and it still was wacky, but it was a little wacky at the time, so some of the colors came out crazy, but I thought it fit this page very well. There's a tutorial on how I did this on my channel, and I am excited to finish it. I'm just trying to figure out the colors that I want to do. This one, let's see, I think this was 2018, and I used acrylic on the background, Prismacolors for I think everything else. So it goes down on, Prismacolors go down a lot better on this paper than in Daydreams. And I love the color scheme, purple and teal. Those are my wedding colors. There's everything in there. And then in Seasons, I have a few. Let's see here. I'm really glad I marked all these ahead of time. Okay, this is probably one of my #1 favorite pictures that I've ever done in Hannah Carlson's books. It's just vibrant and happy and very pretty. And I pulled a lot of the same colors or color families throughout so that it would feel harmonious. And I used just polychromos, and I love looking at it and feeling it. It's just so pretty. And this is one of my more successful skin that I've done, so that's also something I'm happy with. It's a little washed out on camera, but it's better in person. This one I did in 2018, and it's inspired by autumn, obviously. And these berries are like the berries that grow on the vines, like the vines that get so vibrantly red. And I used polychromos. And another one from 2019 is this one. I really love this one. I believe I used Inktense for the background, and then watercolor pencils for the fox and the other small details, and then I don't know if I added any, I think I added pencil for the jewels, and that's about it. So that was really fun and quick. And the last one by Hannah Carlson is Summer Nights. Ooh, yeah, I forgot about this one. So this one I did in 19, and more towards pretty soon after I got the Faber-Castell watercolor pencils, and I just wanted a pop kind of a color scheme. So it's red, yellow, and blue, which are the primary colors. I didn't even think about it, but it's really fun. And I did do the skin also with watercolor pencils and realized it's not the best. Just gets a little mottled up. And then this one is also from 2019. The background is Inktense, and the rest is I think it's Prismacolor. It feels like Prismacolor. It feels more waxy. So, and it might actually be a combination. I don't know. But I love that bird and the flowers and stuff. Anyways, so there's Summer Nights. And then here we have Clara Markova, Magical Delights. I've done a couple in here, I think. Yeah. So this is one of the first ones that I used Inktense. And I really love it. It's a very harmonious color scheme. I love poppies, and I think the background turned out great for being a newbie at Inktense. And then this is one I did in November, I believe, and I used the Albertura watercolor pencils and Jelly Roll gel pen for the white dots, and I think some pencil polychromos for some of the shading. And I love the brightness of the colors in here. I love bright, happy colors. You probably didn't see this. I don't tend to use a lot of earthy color schemes. They're more often than not very bright, vibrant. So this is another 2019. I believe I used Inktense for the base of everything, and then went over with polychromos. That looks like it's, I think the toadstool is Prismacolor. Actually, I think, yeah, most of this is Prismacolor. Because I love how Prismacolor goes down on this paper. So that was fun to do. And then, oh dear, I forgot about this one. This one, you will see the good, bad, and the ugly, and this is one of those failed. I wanted to like do, swap, so swap the green where the purples go, and it didn't work. And I used Inktense and some colored pencil. I think that's Prismacolor. Okay, moving on to something a little more pleasant. This is I believe this is the very first picture that I colored in Tenderful Enchantments. The very first Clara Markova picture I ever colored and I used Prismacolors, and it's just so smooth. And I love these bright, happy, poppy colors. And the cute little mermaid. I love her mermaids. They're so adorable. And this is one I did in 2018 during Halloween. And I love, 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 love this page. It took me forever to do because it was all pencil. This was before I really used anything water. And yeah, I put a lot of love on that picture, and it was worth it. I love it. So there's the end of Tenderful Enchantments. And in Fairy Miracles, I have a couple. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. He's so cute. So this is a little fairy boy. This is when I was experimenting with my Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. Trying to get used to them. So this was really quick and fun and easy. And then here is one that I did closer to the beginning of 2019, when I first got the book, and I love the colors, and I used Prismacolors because they just blend beautifully on this paper for me. I don't know what it is that I do, because I know some people don't love Prismas on this paper, but I do. So yeah, there's the one in Fairy Miracles. Okay, we're getting down with the rest. Oh, yeah. So here's Maria Troll, Jerome Rice. I love this book, and I've had it since I started coloring, because it was one of those ones I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get anymore, so I I got it. But I never colored in it because I just didn't want to ruin anything, kind of a thing. But this year, 2019, I should say, I did color 2 pictures. So I did this cute, like, person holding a potted tree. It's like a bonsai acorn tree. That was really fun and quick. I think I used Albert Durr watercolor pencils for that. The blue little house. I noticed I make all my little houses blue because look at this. I also did this one in 19 and it's a blue little house. But very fun. This was also watercolor pencils. Maybe like sometime I'll go in the flowers and add a little bit more depth with pencil. But when I finished it, I was happy with it, and I still am. So that's that in Drum Rice. If that's how you say it, I don't know. I don't speak any European languages. This is Twilight Garden, and I have several in here. This one, oh yeah! Okay, so this one I did in 2019. I kept the background plain because I just felt like this stood alone by itself just fine, and I didn't want to mess up the beautiful, bright, popping, contrasting colors. And I love foxes, so of course I had to. I love her books because she has so many foxes. This is what I did in 2018 in honor of a beloved colorist who passed away that year. Is that really? Okay, and then this is one I also did in 2018. And it was Prismacolors. That was really fun. I loved doing the wood. So there's that. And then we have Nightfall, where I've done a little bit more. I've done more on the black backgrounds in this one, I think. But this is also kind of another cherry blossom tree with the bright blue and the bright pink. And I think this one was Prismacolors. I had a really hard time choosing what color to make the butterflies, so I just went with yellow and white and black. This is one I did in 2018. This was really fast and took me maybe a couple hours at the most. Not even that, I don't think. It was really fast. And this was Prismacolor because it also goes down very smoothly. This one was Polychromos, I believe. I love lilacs, so this is one of the first pictures that I colored. So it's a 2018. And then we have this awesome little mouse. Wow, I mostly did black backgrounds on this one. And this is Polychromos, I believe. And I love how vibrant these colors came out. So that is it for Nightfall. And Marie Troll. Here we have Sigurd Sagner, which I am hugging it right now. I love this book. When Emily Lighthall Oldberg announced that she was going to be able to get a reprint of this, I was so excited. It scared my husband to death. So, because he didn't know that I was gasping of joy. So this one I did in 2019 with, I think, Prismacolors. It looks like Prismacolor, feels like it. And I love the color scheme for this one. Yeah, I just don't know what else to say because it just says everything. Let's see. Okay, this is one I wanted to show. You could still get shading and depth with flat coloring. so I didn't do any shading on this page. And I thought it would be interesting to do it this way as well because she is a graphic designer and you use a lot more flat, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to try using flat colors. So that was fun. And this is a work in progress. I love these flowers. I'm just trying to decide what I want to do with my snake because I want them to be dark, but I also want some nice popping contrast. So I'm just trying to decide. And that was with Prismacolor. Alright, well that is it for the outside of Forest Girl, that's it for the hardbound books. I do want to show, this is the coloring book that I decided I want to try to finish, and I didn't believe that I would finish it by the end of the year, but guess what? I did! Because there was 1 month that I dedicated to just coloring in this book, and it paid off. So, I believe most everything is from this year, but there are a few pages that are not. So I have not marked this one because it's completed. So this is one of the later ones that I did. This is the last one. I wasn't gonna color this one, but then my OCD kicked in and I didn't do these ones. Just because I already kind of did this one on another page. And yeah, so I must have gotten this at the beginning of the year because this is one of the first ones that I colored and it says February. This was really fast and easy. I did budget pencils and then I did, this was before I had watercolor pencils, so I just did watercolor wash after that, and the wax and the pencil kind of resisted the watercolor, so that was really nice. And then I think I used Prismacolors for the bird. That was fun. This one I loved doing this one because I wanted this to like look chrome, and I think it turned out looking that way. And I kept the butterflies as jewel tones to kind of fit with the chrome theme. And that was with Polychromos. This one I'd used Inktense and some Prismas, I think. But I think these clouds turned out really cool with the Inktense. This is another one that I did more towards the end. It's one that I was dreading because I did not want to do all of this bark. So I just did a wash over all the trees and then just shaded where they overlapped. So pretty simple because I wanted the focal point to be the swords and the daggers and stuff. And this is so that was with Polychromos for the swords, and this is the colors that I used for this like brassy gold. The 175, 182, and 184. This one I did, and it was really fast. I used watercolors, like actual watercolors, and then for most of it, for the hat, the cat, the background, and then I came in with my Polychromos to do this brass and silver. And I can't believe I didn't write down how I got this brass. And this is actually one of my top liked pictures on Instagram, which I least expected. This one was also a later one. I don't know if you noticed, but all the later ones have a lot of metal in them because I was really intimidated by the metal. So I do want to put out soon some tutorials on how I do metal because, well, it's pretty sweet. Okay, so I did write down what I used for the copper. For the Polychromos, it's 192, 188, and 109. And it turned out super cool. I didn't want to compete too much with this dragon steampunk thing. So I kept the background kind of like this industrial steel colors. I did a wash of watercolor for the gray and then did some polychromas for the shading. This one was when I was learning how to be more comfortable with my watercolor pencils from Albert Dürer. I love the colors in this one. This reminds me of like a cherry tree, and I love how the colors are reflecting from the sky and the tree and the grass into the water. I think that turned out great. Okay, so this is from 2018. I know that for sure. I did glitter gel pen on the wings and ran out right at the tip. So this one is a silver right there. And this is my favorite part of it, is this green filigree stuff. This was a later one that I did in that last month, and this was a base of marker, alcohol marker, so you can see I did the green, the foliage, and the blue with alcohol markers, and then everything else is polychromos. And I think this turned out really, really cool. I wanted like this rusted, coppery kind of stuff. So that was really, really fun. Kind of the contrast between something that's old and man-made and something that's bright and vibrant and alive. This was also a later picture. I was gonna color the spider and everything, but when I did the wash of watercolor, I added the spider web and then it just felt finished to me, so I didn't want to ruin it. So I decided to stop there. And this one, I used a lot of Inktense, so Inktense, some Inktense, and polychromos. That was fun. This is also a 2018 picture with just Prismacolors. And I love the colors in this one. I usually don't go for these earthy tones as often. I still do go for them sometimes, but I think that this one turned out so cool. This was also a later one that I did in 2019, and this was kind of an experiment. So I wanted to try out markers, alcohol markers on this paper, so that's what I did on this. And the background is ink because I wanted to like make it smoky. Sorry, just a second. So this is kind of it got out of control, but it still looks really cool kind of thing. And sorry, my son is playing nearby, so if you hear noises, that's what that is. This was also an earlier one from 2018. It's from when I first got my Arteza brush pens, so that's what I did for the pumpkin. Wait, this isn't an earlier one, because that's Inktense. Okay, so this is also 2019, because that's Inktense, and then I went over with pencil. I think I used polychromos. This was also one that I did that last month that I worked on it. Sorry, I had to go take care of something. So this is one that I did that last month. I used glitter gel pens for some of these details. And I wanted the peacock to stand out. So I painted this tan background in with watercolor, and then it reminded me a lot of parchment. So I went in with cursive and I wrote down "White London, when you were born to stand out," over and over and over. So I think that turned out really cool. And this was also really one of my more liked ones on Instagram. This one I believe I did in 2018. I wanted to keep a simple color palette. I painted this yellow on, awesome yellow acrylic paint, and then did the cards, the red of hearts and diamonds, and decided to do the owl blue. Unbeknownst to me, it's a red, yellow, and blue color scheme that was not planned ahead of time. This is one that I did in 2019. I wanted to do something different with the roses, so I did black roses, the red background, and this awesome crown, which is the same brass colors, I believe, that I used for the swords and stuff. Okay, I love this one, and I've had people tell me I need to frame it, so I do need to find the time to frame it because it is awesome. This one, I think, was one of the very last ones I did, and I was just stumped. I didn't know what to do. So my new go-to for when I have a page I want to color or need to color, in this case I was trying to finish this book, is to paint a watercolor background, because then it erases the blankness of it. So I just like painted this pink wash over it, and then I was like, wait, I need to do jewel bugs. So I did the brassy gold colors, and then from there decided to do on the larger bugs 3 main colors. So I did rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and then I did purple jewels for the loose jewels, and then like these kind of really light jewels for the smaller bugs, with polychromos, of course. And I think this is one of the first times I also colored jewels, and it was a lot of fun. This one was kind of a cop-out one. I was like, I just want a simple light color scheme, so I did pink marker, and obviously I did not take my time with it because it's pretty splotchy, but that's fine. And then I went over with the watercolor pencils for the purple and faded it into this sage green, and then went in with the polychromos with the darker shade of like the same color, and voila. So that's all from Phantomorphia. I do have some other Kirby Roseanne's books, but since this one was complete, it's a separate. And then I gave away my Fairies in Dreamland, but took out, or I should say I donated it. I took this page out because it's the only one that I did in the book, and there were just too many tiny little details for me to keep it. This is a acrylic background with paint speckles, and then some Prismacolor pencils and some fine liner for those tiny, eeny-weeny little itsy bits. Okay, whew. We are making good progress, I think. This is gonna be kind of a long video. I'm trying to be fast, but you know, you can only be so fast. Okay, so this is Forest Girl by Apple. It's the second edition, or the second volume, and it is the most amazing paper. So this is one that I did at the beginning of 2019 with just my watercolor paints, because I did not have watercolor pencils at the time. And this was really fun to do. You have to be careful when using wet media like plain watercolor, because it can pill if you use too much water. The other one that I did is this one, and I love this one. I used the Albrecht watercolor pencils, and I just kept the colors light because she's, looking out the window at the beach. So I wanted it to be happy and summery or springy. Well, I guess she's wearing cozy clothes, so maybe it's colder. But for me, the beach is a spring. And yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. Okay, we have a whip in here. This is Hemlock Fairy Tales. It's a Korean coloring book. And this is the one that I started. I wrote down all of my colors, and then I started on her hair and got stuck on her hair because it's a lot of hair that I'm coloring individually. when I finish it, it'll be worth it for sure. So someday I will finish a page in this book. That's the only whip I have because I am very strict with myself and I tend to limit myself to one whip per book. This one is Bohemian Beauty Special by Durian Addict, aka T. Fallon. This one I used the watercolor pencils for the hair and for the background and her shirt, and then polychromos for her skin, and I did film coloring her skin on camera. It's not my favorite, but it's still better than when I was first starting out, so that was fun. And from Coloring Heaven's Halloween Special, I colored this one by Vanessa Yuramoto. This was also watercolor pencils, and then like similar to I just forgot the name. The pens that you trace everything in white, but it was a different brand and it died on me, as in everything exploded out. So yeah, that was fun. And in Colin Thompson's coloring book, I have a couple of whips. I have this one, so I tend to work on one little scene at a time. And I've only done 3. I think I worked on this one at the beginning of this year. I really need to get back to it because it'll be so cool when it's finished. And then this one is another whip using polychromos. I did, I think, the blue last year, and I did the crackles on the moon this year. So at this rate, it's gonna get done in like 50 years. Okay, let me grab some more books. Alright, I am back with another stack, and I'm gonna sit down for a minute. So this is Enchanted Faces, the pocketbook size by Hannah Lynn, and I love this book because I can just do something very fast and fun. So this is when I found my super old Prismacolor alcohol markers, and I was playing around with those. Obviously they're old because they kind of modeled her skin and didn't really do too much alcohol on there. So I decided, excuse me, to get some other alcohol markers, which are what I used in some of the other pictures I showed. So this is 2018 marker base, water marker base with Prismacolor on top, which is, you'll see I love using that formula in the Create Space paper coloring books. This was also 18 orange hair. How about this? If it's from 2019, I will say it is. If it's not, then I won't say it. So I used Prismacolors and water-based markers. And I love her hair. This is a 2019 one. I'm practicing doing hair with alcohol markers, and that's really the only thing I can pull off successfully right now with them, because I'm a newbie with them. Okay, this is another alcohol marker, so it is 2019. I love the colors in this one, the pale purple and the just very light pink skin tone with sunflowers. It's a happy page. Okay, this is from not last year. 18. I just need to go in and finish this corner, this eye, these lips, and we're good. But I did a hair tutorial for that one, so you can check that out. This one is also an older one, water-based marker with, got it, Prismacolors on top. Now this is one of the first ones that I did with alcohol marker, so it's from 2019. It's all just alcohol marker. I love how her hair turned out and how the tiger turned out. and I loved playing with the darker skin tone, the more rich. This one is also water-based marker and Prismacolor on top. And I love these colors. I love her hair contrasting with the pink, and I just love her hair in general. So that's all from Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn. Right, we have Forest Girl. And I've done a couple in here. One is still a work in progress. I started it a long time ago and just haven't gotten around to finishing it. I just need to, yeah. And wait a minute, I've done another. I know I have. Yes, okay, it's in the back. This one I did this 2019 with the Alberta watercolor pencils. I do not like as much how they go down on this paper because it is a smooth kind of a paper. So if I were to do this in the future, I think it would just be a base. But I do love the colors in the color scheme. And this one I did in the fall. A Million Bears to color. I have a couple. So there's this one I did with Inktense and budget pencils, and it's not the most proud page in my coloring journey. This one, I just need to finish some of the details. It's an oldie, really old. And I do have another whip in here, but this is when I learned that I like coloring with just gel pens, because this happens where it dies on you, and you kind of run out of contrasting options. So someday I will finish that one too. So that's A Million Bears to color in The Adventures of Pinocchio. I have one that I did a long time ago. I did water-based marker and it streaked really badly, but thankfully I colored in the same direction, so it just looks like the wood grain. It's really awesome. And then I did marker in the background and went over it with pencil as well. So that's Pinocchio from Fabiana Attanasio, in Snow White by Fabiana. I have a whip, and it's this one. And I used my budget pencils, and they're shaped differently, and my hands started hurting because of how I grip the pencil. So I kind of just stopped. I need to get back to that one too. Okay, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. We have this beautiful, beautiful page. This is the only page that I really have done in here, and it was with Polychromos, and it's one of my favorite pages. And then this year I did this with watercolor pencils, I think, and I was pretty sad that it streaked the way that it did, but I just need to color the butterfly and it'll be fine. But I used a pastel blue to match the bluebells in the other side. Okay, dokie. I have a work in progress and this book. I don't know what this is called. It's a Chinese coloring book. This is the like gods and goddesses one, I think. I don't know. They're all kind of fairy tale like. I did her hair, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to ruin it, so I haven't done any more than that. Someday I will. I might do like a pastel pink background. That would be pretty. This one I have done a couple in. So I did this one this year, in 2019, I should say. And I did a bokeh background, is that what you say? Where it's like bubbles in the background? I didn't know that was a term, but I think that's what it is. And I used Prismacolors. I believe it's Prismacolors. And I love the colors in this picture. I wish I did better on her skin. That's one of the first things that I did after the background. And this paper is so thin and smooth that it's really hard to really fix any mistakes. So next time I will do better. But yeah, I love the colors. And then I have like a soldier guy. Where did he go? I didn't mark it, so. Oh, I did mark it. This is also from 2019. He is wearing this awesome jade emerald, not green, emerald. So it's like more yeah. Because green is really bad luck, I think. Unless he's mischievous. And that's why he's wearing green. But anyways, so green with the royal purple color, and then I kept his hair gray because that added to the mystique of it. Also bubbly background, and I did his bowl, kind of a celadon green to match Chinese celadon. Okay, in Hannah Land, Mermaids, Fairies, and Other Girls of Whimsy, I've done, sadly, only one picture. Can you believe that? And this one was from a long time ago. I did it on Halloween, not this year, with marker base, and I think I used polychromos for this one, and maybe some Prismacolors. But yeah, that was fun. Here we have Cat Doodles, Cuteness Overload. I also did this one a long time ago, and not sure how I feel about it. It was fun, but I think I would make different color choices if I were to color it again. Doodle Invasion by Kirby Rosands. This is one of his lesser known books. This is one of the first coloring books I bought and one of the first pages that I did. So I did all these pink, and then when they come out, the potion turns purple. And so because it's so crazy, I kept it 2 simple colors with some variations in the pink. So there's that. And then in Dream World, I have a whip. This is it's grayscale, but it's really dark, so it's a little heavy to color. But I think this one so far is turning out great. So yeah, that's a whip. And then we have a couple of coloring books that I illustrated. I believe I did this one in 2018. Let me check mine. Yeah, so this one I published in 2018. And I colored a couple of pages in here. So I did this one, which I absolutely adore. So, and look, there's a little blue house. We're raising another little blue house. Oh wait, I've colored 2 little blue houses so far. So this is blue little house number 3. And then this fun flower I can't remember the name of, with these like fairy lights in the background. And then this was, so polychromos works amazingly on this paper. I think it's because it's a harder pencil. So this is polychromos, and I don't remember what I used for the pink, but I might have been a budget pencil, I don't know. But I love how the apples turned out. And then I have a work in progress somewhere. Huh. Weird. I could have sworn it was in here. I know. I thought I was. Oh, wait. I was working on Monsieur Snail. This one. I have this work in progress. I just need to finish it. He's gonna be cute when it's finished, but it's very simple and cute. So that's in Flowers, Fairies, and Birds. And then this one is one I published this year, 2019. This is some artwork. This apple is actually something that I did in college for a class. And this is really cool. I love the texture of this cover. Anyways, I digress. So this is the first page that I colored in here. These are female villains. So this is like the big bad wolf, but it's a lady, I guess. With like this. So I used Prismacolor in the background, and then I added acrylic paint mist to add to the mysteriousness of the picture. And the other one I did in here is Cinderella's evil stepmother, and this is Anastasia and Giselle, the cats. And I used alcohol marker, for the base, and then went over with pencil in other areas. This was really fun to do. And I do have a flip through of this whole book on my channel, as well as the other books that I've published, which I did not grab for this video because I have colored in them either just on loose paper or somewhere, or just haven't gotten to coloring it yet. Okay, so this is Color My Sketchbook, Vanette Klein, work in progress, Prismacolor, grayscale. Someday I will finish it. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, oh, that would actually be really fast. And then in Epic, I did one this 2019. And I think it turned out pretty cool. So I did alcohol marker for the base of her dress and for the background, like that. And then I went over with polychromos for the shading of the fabric and this beautiful white rose, and then budget pencils for the background stuff. So yeah, that's Color My Sketchbook. And in here, Doodlers Anonymous was also one of the first books that I got, so it has got a lot. And I'm thinking I might split this into a part 2 because we're about an hour in and I still have a big stack of books. We'll see. This is what I did this 2019. Really simple. I don't even remember what pencils I used. Because it took like 30 minutes to do. Here's a whip. Here's my son's beautiful drawing. The green. He colored. He likes to color sometimes. Okay, this is one of the first pictures that I colored in here. So it's an oldie. It says let your imagination flow. This is one I did in 2019 with Inktense, and anyone who think, those buses and those cups from like decades ago. That's what this reminds me of, like 90s. And yeah, this is the very first page that I did in here. Acrylic background, fine liner pens, markers. See, I'm losing my words. And a bunch of pencil. And that's a whip. There's a lot. This is the only one that I have a bunch of whips in. Here's one I did with my Arteza marker brush pens that I did in 2019. I just wanted to keep it simple with 2 colors because it's pretty psychedelic. This is one of the earlier ones that I worked on. I used budget pencils, and I thought it'd be fun to do gray and orange fish, so it looked like he was starting to lose the color in his hair. And this is another whip. And this one is, as of the moment, complete. Because of the concept of it. So this guy's happy, this guy's sad, and just the contrast and like the hustle and bustle of everybody else. And this one I'm also counting as finished because I didn't realize. I thought it was like, you know, cute skulls and like bones, and it's a little more gory than that. So I did the background and then realized what it actually was. So yeah. Okay, I'll do 2 more and then a part 2. Alright, so in Christopher Hart Mink Girls, I did this one when I first got my alcohol markers in 2019, as you can see. And I think she was inspired by like the character herself is Sailor Moon, but I used my own colors and used gel pen for the jewels because of the background. He has a lot of like geometric stuff, so I just kept it simple. But yeah, I love how her hair turned out. That turned out awesome. Okay, last one in Chibi Animals. This one I straight colored because it's more for looking at with my son. He loves the bright colors, and he's colored as a couple pages in here because there's 2 of each, so that's nice. And where are all of them? Okay, so this one is the zebra. They're very cute and chibi. And we have this snake, which I need to finish, and this giraffe, which is cute. There's a lot of greenery, and because it's a zoo, they're animals, but let's finish that. Elephant. I finished this one this year, I think. The most recent one. So yeah, that's kind of fun. He likes to look at the different animals. Alright, so stay tuned for part 2 of my Everything I've Ever Colored 2019 update. And thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Happy coloring!